Okay, what we have here is a Toshiba Tecra Z40-B, and we're going to be replacing the internal M2 hard drive, SSD hard drive, with a full-size 2.5-inch SSD hard drive. It's a Tecra Z40-B, and this is the part number of the cable we need. It's the SATA adapter for the full-size 2.5-inch drive. I had trouble finding this, but that's the part number you're going to need to find. All right, we've gone ahead and removed all the screws already here, and a couple of things to point out. One is we've got this little cap here in the center. Pop that guy off. There's a screw under there. Also, the rear feet, pop that off. You've got screws under there. If you don't get those guys out, you're never getting the bottom off this thing. There's two more screws here. Don't forget those. And once it's all up, you can take like a, where are we here, guitar pick, and run that guy along the edge, releasing all the catches. And the Tecra is really nice this way because it just lifts right off all in one piece. And this is what we got inside. This here is the assembly for the M2 SATA drive, M2 SSD SATA drive. This is a plastic assembly that takes up the space, a little socket board with a ribbon cable that connects to the M2 card. This is an off-the-shelf M2 card. It can be expanded by itself without having to do this upgrade. In fact, we'd already done that on this machine some time ago. Simple matter to remove this drive is release the little brown catch there. If you break this guy, you're probably in deep water, so be very careful. It's not screwed in or anything. It lifts right out like that. Now, if you happen to be doing the opposite repair here, putting an M2 in, and you need the cable, this is the part number for the cable right here, this guy. And as you see, this is a plastic assembly, the little daughter board that is this cable, and then an M2 drive. All right, so that's what we're taking out. And then we've got our new cable. Again, there's the part number for the new cable. And we're going to plug that into our SSD. It's a 2.5-inch SSD. And that fella, once again, just, which way do we go in here? I guess we're going this way. So just sets in there. There's no screws or anything. And again, the cable lines right up with the plug. Line that up. It has little ears that catch it just square. Once that's in, that is the upgrade. So we now have a 2.5-inch SSD in place of our M2 SSD. What that gets you is this drive is limited in size, where these drives are anymore you're at a terabyte or more. So again, putting the cover on, all we got to do is set that guy down, put in all your screws, run around, put your little caps back on again. And what we had done with this is we had used an externalizer cable to this guy here. So this is a full-size SATA. It goes into a USB or USB 3 port, and it pulls enough power to drive the hard drive. So we were able to use this to plug in the new SSD and run to-do backup on Windows 10 on this PC, running on the M2, and clone the M2 onto the new SSD. Once that was done, we have a bootable SSD, full-size SSD. We've actually gone on and ahead and turned this on and seen that it's running and all. We're not going to bore you with those small details. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful. We're F1 Systems in Broomfield, Colorado. It's been a pleasure.